Good morning, good people, and welcome back to another edition of Sharp Solutions, carpet and upholstery cleaning, supply, install and repair. Today's video is going to be about the new power pack that Clean Smart in Nottingham do. Now, they gave me this pack to test and review and give my honest opinion on it. I've used Clean Smart's remote control power packs now for about 5 years, and I would not be without them. Anyone who is getting into the industry and runs a high-end portable that they can run from the van or even outside the door, and they've not tried the remote packs before, you're missing out. Whether you're a newbie to the industry or you're a veteran but you've still not tried the remote pack, it saves so much time. If you're doing a second floor or third floor house and you're cleaning the carpets, just to be able to push a button and turn the machine off saves you so much time. If you ever get carried away and the machine takes in water, and we all know what happens there, the machine goes loud and you're sucking through water. If you're upstairs on a second story or a third story, you've got to get it downstairs to that van or outside to that machine to turn it off. You're causing more damage. So if the windows are open and your ears are open and you was to ever unfortunately have that happen, you can turn the machine straight off, minimizing damage. So the remotes alone are worth their weight in gold. And like I say, I've used them now for about 5 years. I wanted a backup set so that obviously if anything went wrong with my current ones while getting those fixed, I could use something. Clean Smart basically explained to me that their model has changed in the supplier, and they may be a little bit better. So first of all, we're going to have a quick look at this, and then we're going to try them out distance wise and everything else, just to see how good they operate and if they operate as good as their old ones. Looking at the boxes, they've changed the shape slightly, so I can see that there is 4 screws. I'm not saying anyone should go into any packs or anything like that, because you can void your warranty if the seal is broke and it's not being by a professional that is certified to do so. But for those professionals, I guess that's a little bit easier to get into. It's the same with the plug on the end that your portable plug will go into, and then obviously this one's going to go into your RCD or straight into the wall. The remote's different, okay? Now the old green remote is bigger, so I do like the size of this. I'm probably going to have to look into either getting a little older for it to carry it around my neck, because my remote always stays around my neck, or even if I could just put a little hole in the top to put a hook through. Okay, it's got an aerial that pulls out, and I guess we're going to have to be pulling this all the way out so that we can get full reach, because like I say, my machine, it stays on the van most of the time. It's very, very light. One thing that I wouldn't do with it is put it in the pocket, because if you have disconnected any hoses or anything like that and you're outside of the van, it could be disastrous if that button was to press. So I carry mine around the neck. So like I say, small little holder for it to go in around my neck would be perfect. I think I've actually got one on the van, so it's not an issue at all. And I actually like the fact that it looks a lot slimmer and is going to weigh less than the old one. So yeah, quite like that straight away. We're going to plug those in anyway in a bit, and we're going to check the distance and everything just to see if they compare to their old ones. As you can see, we've got the wand in ready to go. We've just got to pull the hoses in. We've been around everywhere and vacked, and we've pre-sprayed as well. So we've got a lounge here that's about 18 square meters. The carpet throughout is polypropylene, synthetic. So you can literally go in with most solutions for these kind of carpets, as long as it's obviously rinsed out correctly. The soiling level is moderate. We've got no major spots and stains. So it's been down about 5 minutes at the moment dwelling. We've gone in with Sager's Blue. Now, Sager's Blue I've never used in the past. Basically, there's a carpet cleaner near me that was having a sort out of old solutions, and I ended up buying a bit off him, and this is the first time I'll be using it. There's going to be no agitation I don't think the soiling level on these carpets needs agitation. The wand alone, while we're going, we'll be given a manual agitation, and hopefully, you know, we'll get good results with that. Just here before I pre-sprayed, the carpet had a little bit of a ripple in, and I explained to the customer that it actually sounds and feels like delamination. So trying to re-stretch that into the bar just wasn't going to be a problem for me to do today, because it needs re-sticking on the back. It needs the adhesive adding back into the back ends, drying out before putting it back on. And again, this home is up for sale and the customer just wants it nice and clean. Okay, so we're going along. We've got a bit of a hallway here that's carpeted. Again, it's in fair condition, no problems with it. We've got this small bedroom here. There has been a couple of tufts that have been pulled with either a vacuum or an animal in the past, and I've gone ahead and used a little bit of edge sealer and tucked them back in. I've always tucked them back in when it comes to loop piles, because we don't want to be cutting them off. Basically, if a vacuum was to get to that, it is going to ladder. So I've got just a couple of bits underneath that radiator that I need to have a look at. There was one more thing that I pointed out to the customer, and that was in a couple of the rooms on the exterior walls, we've got a little bit of mold. So there's a damp issue here somewhere. As you can see down here, I explained to the customer that I could pull that back and have a look, treat the back end of the carpet, treat the top side of the carpet, flush it out, rinse it all out to stop that damp in its tracks. But obviously I couldn't stop it if it is a problem with the walls. That is going to be a builder's job. So I explained that I could get rid of it totally, or we could just put a solution down that is going to basically kill it for now. But obviously it's probably going to come back, and the customer opted for make it as good as you can now. So that's what we're going to do. So I'll be using a hand tool on that bit down there. Yep, moving into this other bedroom here. Same again, relatively small, fair condition, not a problem. And then into this last little bedroom here. Same again. In this corner, you can see we've got a little bit of a damp issue there, so we'll be doing the same again there. Like I say, the pre-spray has been down probably, I don't know, 7 minutes now. I will give it a dwell time of about 10 to 15 minutes. And we will be trying out these new remote packs to see how far we can go, turn the machine on and off, and how good they are. So stick with us guys while we pull the hoses in, and let's get to it on this one. Okay guys, at the moment we're set up for the lounge, and we've got 50 foot of vacuum hose and 50 foot of solution hose. We're all plugged in to the new remotes, and I'm going to turn it on. Now obviously understand that it's not the distance from your machine that you're looking at, it's the distance from the plug, because that's where the circuit board and everything else corresponds with the remote control. So I'm out here now, I'm going to have a look at what PSI is on the machine, so I can obviously adjust that to what I want to rinse with. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn the machine on and let's see what happens. And one back, and two back on the pump, and we're running. We're running at about 130 PSI. The last job I did yesterday was a lounge, which was an 80/20 wool, and I always rinse them at a low PSI, because those out there that don't know, wool does hold on to the moisture, so you want to be retrieving as much moisture as possible. So at the moment, from the two remotes, I've got one plugged into the kitchen. We're just going to go in, and I've got one plugged into the hallway. Now the reason I've got them plugged into two separate points is because most homes run on two circuits. Your breakers and your kitchen are running on one, and then the rest of the house runs on another. So sometimes if you use a high-end portable, you might have plugged into the same room, turned both your vacs and pump on, and what you basically get is one will short out, trip the switch, and then you have to go and press it. So if you don't know, so yeah, anyone starting out, or if you've been in it a long time but just do not know that, I've got one plugged in over the kitchen, and I've got one plugged in to the hallway. So they should be running on separate circuit breakers. So there's less of a chance for me to trip anyone's switches. Right, here's the one then, like I say. We've got 50 foot at the moment. Now, if there's anyone out there that is thinking about buying a new machine, if you've just started out or you've ran a certain machine for a long time and you're looking at something new, I do highly recommend the HX, the airflex range. It's the HX 400 that I've got, and it comes with the two 6.6 vacuums. Now, it is a little beast. It can run easily with plenty of suction at 75 foot, but I do run on occasions at 100 foot as well. In fact, today, to get to the back bedroom, we'll probably be running at about 75 foot, and you will see and hear the recovery at that. So at the moment, we're just going to switch it on. Again, using the little remote, which is super light. I really do like it, to be fair. Let's have a listen. That's just the one vacuum. Now that's the second vacuum and the pump. So as you can see, it's got very good suction. All of my cups are firmly tightened up as well. So that is going to make a massive difference for air loss. It's all about trying to get as much out of the vacs as possible, so making sure that all your cuffs are tightened up. Using a glide gets you much better dry times, and in fact this machine at 50 foot sometimes you have a lockdown. That's when the wand is very hard to drag on the carpet fibre. 9 times out of 10 that is down to suction, so a wand prevents that from happening and in fact recovers more moisture. This particular glide that I've got is from a guy called Josh, who is kind of a small company that basically bespoke makes the wand glides for you individually by taking the measurements and then literally manufacturing them himself. So it's going to fit your wand absolutely perfect. I've had this on this one now for at least, I would say, 6 months. And it's doing a fantastic job. Very tight fitting. I'm over the moon with it, to be fair. I will put a link to his company in the description. So if you're thinking about getting a wand to make all that difference, I would go and see Josh and his company and they will sort you out. Okay guys, we're gonna get rinsing. Right then guys, I'm now running at 75 foot for these 2 back rooms. So I just wanted to put the video on slow speed so we can kick it up, have a listen to what's coming out the end of the wand, and I know that doesn't correspond with what it's actually lifting, but I can assure you, that it does recover moisture very well. So here we go. That's just the one motor. And that is the second motor and the pump. We are now running at 75 foot, which will get to most homes. see, that is recovering very, very well. Okay, so we've swapped out the one for the upholstery tool. You can see down here, it's already had an effect just by treating it with an antibacterial, a little bit of hydrogen peroxide, and a dwell. So now I'm going to go over with the upholstery tool, detailing tool, so we're going to be much closer, and we'll see if we can get this any better. Right now, so yeah, for what we've charged the customer as a standard clean, no extra kind of deep kind of recovery or anything. Yeah, I'm happy at that, and I think the customer will be happy at that. Right then guys, this is the last stretch. Let's get this hallway bit out of the way, and then we can show you the finished results. Just a quick one before we wrap up, guys. I'm going to check the distance. Now, I'm no doubt that I think it's 250 foot that CleanSmart say these remotes reach to. So obviously that's going from the packs themselves, not from the machine. Remember that, because that's where the transmitter is. Okay, so we've got a plug socket down there, which is about 8 foot from me. One in the wall over there, which is about 8 foot from me. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pace that, and we're going to find out exactly where we can hear the machine from going up the road. Right then guys, we are about 150 foot from the plug-in. You can see down there is the van. Road's clear now, so I'm going to try it, and let's see what we're like at 150 foot. I can hear one, and there goes number two, so we're good for 150 foot. Both off, let's continue. Right guys, we're at 200 foot now, so let's try it now. That's both vacs and the pump running nicely at 200 foot. I have got no doubt that this remote pack from CleanSmart does 250 foot.